Hello, Math 96. This is video number 5. So there are 5 problems on this chapter 3 review, and this is the 5th one for problem number 5. So here we go. This is a 3 by 3 system, and the first thing that we're asked is to decide what are your first pick 2 equations, answer with the ABC combination, and what letter are you going to eliminate. So if I take a look at the problem, now, this may not be done the same way that you're doing it, but I'm going to go ahead and utilize the combination of A and B, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the letter Y. And then I'm going to also use another combination, obviously, because you need to use 2. So the next combination, I'm going to use B again, and I'm going to go with B and C. And I have to get rid of Y again. So I focused right here in the middle on the Y. And so when I picked those combinations, I just went ahead and thought about, well, if I just multiply A and B, or eliminate with A and B, and if I eliminate with B and C, it would be easier. That was all. So if you had chosen to eliminate a different letter, you can always email me and I can do a video for you. And I can show you just so you can verify your answer. Okay, so we're going to get rid of A and B and C, and then we're going to get rid of Y. Oops. There we go. Okay, so the first set was A and B. So I'm going to bring this equation over. And I'm going to bring the second equation over. And I'll need to multiply this equation on the bottom so that I can get 4y minus 4y. I need to multiply by a 4. So you're going to distribute that and make sure you distribute all the way through to every equation, or to every term. So 4 times 5x is 20x, negative 4y plus 8z equals 12. So I multiplied the 4 all the way through. I'm going to wave out that middle equation because I'm done with it, so I don't see it. Draw a line and go up and down, up and down. So 3x and 20x is 23x. 4y minus 4y canceled. 8z minus 3z is 5z. And 12 plus 4 is 16. And this compromises our first new equation. So we'll need to write that down on the paper. Let me just jot that down really quick. Okay, so we're going to fill that in right here. 23x plus 5z equals 16. And now I have to do, so we're done with the first two. So now I have to do the next set, which is the combination B and C. Okay, so I need to use B and C, and we get rid of the X's, or sorry, we get rid of the Y's. So I'm going to write them down. And we need to get rid of the Y's, so I need to multiply this top row by a 2 so that I get negative 2y with the positive 2y. So I have to make sure I multiply that all the way through, so that would be 10x minus 2y plus 4z equals 6. So I multiplied the top row by 2. Then I'm going to wave that out, draw my line, think up and down, up and down. 10x and 1x makes 11x. The y's cancel. 4z minus 1z is 3z. And 6 minus 2 equals 4. This comprises our second new equation. And so we'll fill that in on our form. Okay, so now we have the new. We're done with that one. So we're right here. So what letter will you eliminate for the new step? So we have two equations. We have to decide if we're going to get rid of x's or we're going to get rid of y's. So I'm going to decide to go, I'm sorry, x's or z's. So I'm going to decide to get rid of the z's. I'm going to go for 15s and negative 15s. So 5z and 3z, I need to go ahead and what number or numbers, if needed, will you multiply by? I'm going to have to multiply by a 3, and I'm going to have to multiply by a negative 5. That way, in this column, right here, if I multiply by 3 and a negative 5, I'll get 15 and negative 15. So let's do that work. So our first new was 23. X plus 5z equals 16, and 11x plus 3z equals 4. And so I'm going to multiply by a 3 here, and I'm going to multiply by a negative 5 here. When I do that, it will create a 15z and a negative 15z. And I'll be able to cancel my z's. Okay, so here we go. We're going to multiply through by 3 on the top and by negative 5 on the bottom. And there we go. 15z and negative 15z. That's what we wanted. And now you're going to go ahead and cancel. Okay? 15z minus 15z cancels. This would be 14x is equal to positive 28. So your x would be equal to 2, because 14 plus 14 is 28. So we got our first answer. So value of x is equal to 2. All right, so once we get x equals 2, now we're back to the same kind of work that we did on problem number 4. So to find the z, plug in x equals 2 into any original on this page. Or plug it back into one of the news. Okay? So you can plug this back into this highlighted equation or this highlighted equation, either one of those. So we have x equals 2. I'm going to use the bottom one. I'm just rewriting it once. So we have x equals 2. So we're going to plug a 2 in right here. So that would be 11 times 2. So we have 22 plus 3z equals 4. If you subtract the 22 to both sides, 3z is equal to negative 18. And 3 times what is negative 18, or divide by 3 on both sides? Z would equal negative 6. So far we have x equals 2 and z is equal to negative 6. So I'm going to go back. Z is equal to negative 6. And now we just have to find the value of y. So in order to find the value of y, let me just erase this for a minute. Okay. So in order to find y, plug in, trying to make that like an arrow, plug in both x equals 2 and z equals negative 6 into any original A, B, or C equation. And so you go back to one of these originals, and you only have to pick one, and it doesn't matter which one you pick. So you can pick any one of these. And if we plug in both the x and the z, we'll get the value of y. So I think I'll pick the top one. Like I said, it doesn't matter. Any one will give you the right answer. And so I need to plug in here, x is worth 2, and z was worth -6. So this one is a 3 times a 2, so that'll be a 6 plus 4y. And right here I have to do -3 times -6, so that would be a positive 18, and then equals 4 in the back. Okay, so then I'm going to have to solve for y, so I'm going to pop this 6 over. I'm going to subtract 6 to both sides. That cancels. I'm also going to pop the 18 over, so I'm going to subtract 18 to both sides. That cancels, and down comes that 4y equals whatever 4 minus 6 minus 18 is. Minus 18, and just grab a calculator. So that's a -20. So 4 minus 6 is -2, minus 18 more is -20. If you divide through by that 4, your y is worth -5. So we'll get our last answer. All right, so for our last, answer, how do you write the final answer? You make sure it's in the XYZ order, so 2, -5, -6 is our final answer. I'm just filling those words back in. Okay. All right, well, if you chose to choose different combinations than A and B, B and C to eliminate Y, and you want me to discuss that with you, just go ahead and email me. Just tell me, Miss Artofer, can you do number 5 to eliminate a different letter? I chose to eliminate X, and I just need some help with that. Or Miss Artofer, can you do number 5 and help me? I chose to eliminate Z first, and I just wanted to check it. So just send me an email if you want me to do that. Like I said, there's 3 different ways you could have, well, there's more than 3 different ways to do the problem, actually. It depends on the combinations of ABC you pick. But if you need that help, go ahead and email me, and I'll be happy to get back to you. All right, don't forget to bring your white notebook to final exams next week, you guys. Thank you.